What's up, weebs? It's a longtime friend of the channel, PaymoneyWubby, had watched my last video where I made Radahn's helmet for Ludwig. If you haven't seen it, here's a clip.
This is also part of the argument that I am a fan of, where you should be allowed to have sex with cows. Not that I want to have sex with the cows. You're not allowed to be against bestiality and a meat eater. That's all I'm saying.
So anyway, Webby had seen that video and asked to commission something from me. I'll let him explain.
And I'm like, it'd be really cool if I can get that weapon made. So here is the weapon he wields. A giant flail ball attached to a chain with a like butcher knife on the other end of it. So I said, hey, Nick, do you know what Demon Slayer is? And Nick's like, oh, I fucking love Demon Slayer. I'm like, Nick, I need you to make me Gyomei's weapon. I want you to make it as real as humanly possible. And I don't care if it's impractical or doesn't function or doesn't work. I want if Gyomei walked into my room, he would be able to pick it up and go, this is my weapon.
So I was commissioned on the 28th, and in about a month later I had a trip to San Diego planned. I let him know that I might be able to hand deliver, which leaves me a week to finish my commercial work so I can afford to eat, and only 18 days to make this. So I got right to work. As a fan of Demon Slayer, I think it's pretty cool that I was commissioned to do this. If you've only watched the anime, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to keep it to Gyomei's appearance and his weapons. I'm starting with the axe because I'm not going to be able to make the ball in time. I could probably get it done, but not in 18 days. I don't have the proper facilities for it.
The ball's hard.
So I outsourced it to another fabricator, who said they can get it here in 10 days, so we have that much time to make the axe. I'm carving the Ake Masatsu on the back of the axe. All the Hashira have this engraved on their weapons. It basically means to destroy or annihilate evil demons. By welding these two mild steel sides onto this high carbon blade, we've essentially made a Sanmai construction. My apologies to any bladesmiths watching this. Luckily, these welds don't have to look good either. We're going to end up grinding those down flush. The chain that connects the two weapons is black, so we're going to need to heat up the steel and quench it in some boiled linseed oil, which instantly polymerizes on the outside, leaving this black finish. Then I do the same to the rest of the chain, as you can tell by this top-notch camera work here. So this is the 12-inch in diameter 12-gauge steel ball that I had fabricated. And they got it here on time, so we're still on track. I found the easiest way to plot out where the spikes need to go is just to make a 3D model. This took about 5 minutes and it was super helpful. Hands down, the most time-consuming part of this was making these spikes. I was really pushing the limits of my little lathe to make these, but it got it done. This is what I'm going to use to attach the spikes to the ball. These are called riv nuts. They kind of work like a pop rivet. I just need to make 18 more of these. These ended up taking about 2 hours apiece. And at 19 of them, that's almost 40 hours just on the spikes. And after filling the gaps and a little paint, we're ready to drive the 8.5 hours down to San Diego. Out of respect for Wubby, I didn't really film too much. You know, he was nice enough to invite me over. And I wanted to make sure they were 100% comfortable with me recording.
No way. Are you filming now? Yeah. Dude, come on!
Oh, you're strong,
This
man.
is 200 pounds.
This is 200 pounds, yeah.
Dude, it's so fun.
And he brings it to me. He comes over to my house and he brings it to me, and I immediately notice something about it. It's fucking massive. And he goes, you wanted it to be real, right? You wanted this to be to scale. And I'm like, yeah, but it's huge. And he's like, yeah, Gyomei is 7'2". It looks small next to him because he's a tank. With one person cannot hold this safely. Here's what happened. As I was bringing it down the stairs, Alex is carrying the blade and I'm carrying the ball. I'm holding it close to me as I'm carrying it. It swung like an inch and a spike went right into my knee. I just set it down on the table and it went through the table. A spike went right through. Here it is. Here is the blade. Oh yeah, went straight through the table. This thing on its own is difficult to hold. Like you can feel it in your wrist. I am struggling to lift it. It is quite heavy. I don't even want to move it too much. In the show, he's got this in one hand and he just... To stop it from spinning, you either have to be goated with the sauce and be able to fling it really well, or you fucking die. If one of these hits you, you're just dead. You are simply dead. Here's the thing. I'm gonna give you a little fun fact about this. The original plan was for him to bring a watermelon. We were gonna destroy it, whatever. It was too unwieldy and too unsafe, so we just didn't fuck with it. I don't even know what to do with it now. But it's one of those things that like, it shouldn't exist. I can't even maneuver it safely, dude.
The rest of the trip in San Diego went pretty well. And on the way back, I was thinking to myself, kinda sucks we didn't get to smash anything. The last version was more of a sculpture than a weapon, so I figured I'd try to make something a little bit more practical. Well, as practical as an anime weapon could be anyway. The plan is to make a sketchy travel-sized version that only weighs about 18 pounds, so you can actually use it. So somebody was nice enough to relocate our catalytic converter. So I think now it's a good time to mention that I have a Ko-fi account. So if you want to help out the channel, or just buy me a coffee, the link's in the description. Special thanks to the last video supporters, Jack, the Cat in the Box, and Taishu. With their help, I was able to buy this, a shot put ball. We're going to use it to make the spiked flail. I made this template so I can accurately find the cross sections to place the holes for the spikes. And I'm using these rubber bands to continue the lines to mask them off for painting. I got this really sharp, so I figured I'd make a sheath, and tie in Gyomei's Nimbutsu that he wears on his happy, and on the other side his Ake Masatsu that's normally engraved on the back of his axe. And now it's time for some glamour shots. I think it turned out pretty good. And now we gotta test it. And don't worry, none of this food will be wasted. Everything that gets smashed will be either composted or fed to the chickens. But first, let's test out the axe. Honestly, I think this is more dangerous than the full-size version, because you can actually swing it around. So Wubby, when you get this, please be careful. I'd like to thank Wubby for commissioning me to make this. And I want to thank you guys for getting me to 10,000 subscribers. I know I don't post often, so I appreciate you guys sticking around. If you have any suggestions on what I should make next, leave a comment. More videos coming soon, and I'll see you in the next one.